you very much for that. Okay, I'm sorry for being a little bit late, getting a little bit caught up in such a great opportunity today. First of all, though, I just wanted to take the time out to sincerely thank all of the supporting organizations, the dedicated individuals, and all of the committed representatives that have made today a reality for all of us. They've made it extremely impactful, and this is such an amazing opportunity for the youth to not only share their own stories, but the stories of their peers who are not able to be here with us today. My name is Chelsea Faver. I'm from Indiana, a diehard Hoosier who graduated from IU last year, Indiana University. I spent my time in care in a group home, but I was blessed with the opportunity to graduate from high school a year early and begin college while I was still in the state's custody. Permanency was something that was never even discussed when I was in care. It's a word that I didn't even know the meaning to. But it's something that all of us in the group home that I was placed in were desperately trying to find. It wasn't until after I aged out of the system that I found my permanency, and it was actually through a relative that my caseworker and the workers that were involved with me never even thought to utilize or to seek out, but they ended up being that supporting connection for me. I served on our state advisory board while I was in school, and last year I became one of the initial members of the National Foster Care and Alumni Policy Council. Through my involvement with these groups, I've been granted the opportunity to really be a part of advocacy on both the state and national levels. I came here this week to learn more about how we can impact the foster care system. Having the opportunity to meet with Representative Todd Young, who I sincerely thank for taking the time to allow me to shadow a day in your life. It's left me with many ideas as to what we can do to do just that, improve our system, improve the lives for our peers and the next generation. As a former youth of Indiana's child welfare system, I have a deeply rooted passion in assisting to pave the way for our next generation of youth. Being here today has granted me with invaluable knowledge about the child welfare system on the federal level, but also networking with some of my peers has really given me a lot of information that I can't wait to take back to my own state. Seeking out permanent connections for me as I approach the magical age of 18 is something that I wish that my caregivers would have done for me. Being separated from my siblings, additionally, cut off a connection that could have been utilized as a permanent source, whether that was me being that permanent connection for them or vice versa. Throughout school, whenever I was in college, my relationship with my stepfather had broken down whenever I was initially removed from my home. My half-siblings were living with him, and I was the only one removed and living in a group home. And as I finished school, I began to start reconnecting with my stepfather. When I graduated last year, I had a fantastic opportunity to go out to eat with him. It was the first time in several years. And we sat there at the restaurant, and he had his new wife with him. And he showed me a picture of him and his wife and all of their dogs. We were a huge dog family, so I couldn't wait to see their puppies. But in that picture also included two of my younger brothers. One of them I recognized right off the bat, despite the fact that I hadn't seen either of them in 7 years, because he's got this bright, fiery Irish red hair, and so I immediately knew who he was. But my youngest brother, I couldn't even recognize him in the picture. As I was looking at it, I knew that this is my sibling, but the realization hit that if I was to pass him on the street, I wouldn't even know who he was. And I could never become that permanent support for him. And that hit me really hard. I've always seen myself as a strong person, but being hit with that reality that I don't know my own brothers, and after I had been struggling for so long to find who my permanency was, it's something that I don't want any other youth to have to face again. It's been really uplifting and motivating to be surrounded by so many people who are working for the same goals. And I know that if we continue to all work for the best interest of my peers, the youth that are in care, but also the youth that are transitioning out, we can definitely pave the way for the next generation. Thank you, guys.